roll with it. This was wild from start to finish. The craziest shit just happened. What? And I was like, then what the fuck is this helping? We'll see what happens. Today, I am getting my allergy testing done. Okay, so how allergy testing works, for those of you who are fortunate, what they do is they take these little plastic things that have 6 to 8 little prongs on them, and they're seeping in serums that are essentially anything that one could be allergic to. Or if you're me, everything that I'm allergic to. They take these things and they push on your arm, right? And basically what it is they're taking everything that you're allergic to or could be allergic to, and they rub it on you and they put it on your body, and they're like, so if it flares up, that means you're allergic to it. If it doesn't flare up, we're gonna take a shot that has the serum in it and put it in you and see if you're just like not that allergic to it. The first time I did this, I had both arms done, which was my right arm was foods, my left arm was outside. Everything on my left arm flared up. Most of the stuff on my right arm did. Whatever didn't flare up, they put into a shot, and they were like, you have to come back next week and do it again. I was like, okay, cool. And they were like, okay, so we have all your shots. And she whips out this tray, and there's like 50 needles, and I'm like, holy sugar, honey, what the hell is going on? They're like, if you feel like you're gonna pass out, please tell us. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna pass out because I'm not a wimp. So my mom was like, oh, she's not gonna pass out, whatever, she's fine, she's not gonna pass out. So then they started doing the shots. They get like 5 of them, and I'm like, shit, this is actually really not that fun. You know, 1 shot for like your flu shot, that's fine. 2 shots, whatever. 3, okay. 5, no. But there were more. So I get to my 8th shot, and I look at my mom, and she's looking at me, and she's like, what? And I'm like, I don't feel so good. And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, what? And she's like, what? And I'm like, I can't hear you. And she's like, you what? And then she starts to panic, and then the nurse is like, what? And I was like, what? And then my eyes rolled back. My mom was like, how many was that? And the nurse was like, 8. And then she was like, how many more? And she was like, well, we did 8 out of 23. And I was like, what? But yeah, so here I am. What I have to do throughout the year is I have to get a lot of shots put into my arms every week. Because without them, every time I stepped outside, I would literally combust. Essentially, I'm allergic to anything that is a plant. So all fruits and vegetables, and then any plant that you could think of, dead or alive, ever. So it's a lot. It's a lot. What I do every year is I have to go get shots so that way I won't have problems with my allergies. My seasonal allergies are your seasonal allergies times 476, you know? So I have to go do this so that way I can go outside. I have absolutely no desire to do this, but I also have no desire to go out this way. I don't want it to be, she's allergic to outside. All right, you know what? Fine. Let's just do it. Let's just. She's giving me an epic. Is it 15 minutes to drive? It's all right. Yeah. You won't stand in there and you're like in separate. You're all in different files. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. The craziest shit just happened. I got all my stuff done, and I can't even show you what it looks like, but I'm gonna get to that. I think I took a video of it. If I did, future Alexa, insert it here. Hello, darkness, my old friend. If not, past Alexa, you're an asshole. She told me I got worse. And so she was like, yeah, now I have to give you an EpiPen that you have to use all the time. And I was like, what? Use it for your nut allergies and use it for your pollen. And I was like, but I don't ever feel like I'm gonna die. And she was like, well, you need it because you might. And then she's looking at my arms, right, that are covered in these welts. They're all, oh my god, it was awful. They were completely covered. She's like, so we're gonna do the immunotherapy? And I'm like, yeah. So she's like, okay, you have to come back Thursday for the shots. And I was like, fuck? So then she touches my arm and she's rotating it to look at the welts. And then she feels my hands and she's like, you're cold and clammy. And I look at her and I go, I'm usually cold and clammy. And she goes, no. This is not normal. And I was like, what do you mean? And then she was like, are you feeling okay? And I was like, what do you mean? What am I supposed to be feeling like? I feel fine. Then my chest started to shake and my arm started to shake. She goes, I'm gonna give you an EpiPen. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, I'm gonna give you an EpiPen. And I was like, oh, this is fucking perfect. She goes, it's gonna burn. And I was like, good, fresh, good, fine, great. Then she said, and your heart rate's gonna go up, and your chest is gonna get tight, and you might feel lightheaded. And I was like, then what the fuck is this helping? So then I go and I sit in the waiting room, and the nurse looks at me and she goes, can somebody check her vitals? And I was just like, oh my god. And I started shaking like violently. Another thing that happened was I went in and they were like, we're gonna do foods this time. And I was like, okay. And I had both my arms covered in this shit and I couldn't do anything to distract me. It basically, oh my god, it was so itchy. I couldn't itch. The serum was dripping down my arm, so my whole arm was itchy. And then they were like, yeah, you're having a really bad reaction. And I was like, oh my god. So I'm still shaking. And she's like, yeah, you have to go home and you have to take Benadryl to counteract the hyperness that the EpiPen is gonna do to you. And so now I can't stop fucking moving because I think I'm dying. Maybe I'm dying. Anyway, we'll check back in on... Shut up. We'll check back in on Thursday with the other half of this. Let's hope it's fine. And let's hope I go home and I can calm down because my heart rate is really fast and I'm just... Woo! You know what? I think this is what cocaine feels like. Probably not. I can't stop moving. I'm just like twirling my cord around my gear shifter thing. My Prindle. It's part 2 today, which means it's shots. And the last time I had this happen, I had to get 23 shots and I passed out after 8 and then they continued. So I'm not sure how many I need to get today or how many I'll pass out after. We'll see how this ends up. We'll just, it's life, I guess. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I told her that the last time this happened, I passed out. So now she was like, let me go get the doctor. So I don't fucking know what's gonna happen. She went and told the doctor and the doctor was like, oh, so we won't do as many. And I was like, thank you. She was like, we're only going to do about 8. And I was like, 8's how many I passed out after last time. She was like, okay. She was like, we'll do it laying down. So we did it laying down. And then she was like, how do you feel? And I was like, I feel fine. And then I sat up. And then I was not fine. I lost consciousness. So here we are. Living. Okay, so we gotta talk about that. This was wild from start to finish. So I go in and they're like, have you done this before? And I was like, yeah, when I did it the last time, after 8 shots, I passed out, and then they proceeded to give me the next 15 while I was laying down. And she was like, what? And then she went and she talked to the doctor. The doctor came in and was like, oh, well, that shouldn't have happened. I was like, me passing out? And then she was like, oh, no, them continuing. And I was like, oh, that's so good. I love that for me. And I got 15 shots unnecessarily. So then she goes, all right, so we're only going to do the ones that I'm most concerned about. And I went, okay. And she goes, so like 8 or 9. And I was like, I passed out after 8. Am I going to be okay? And she was like, you should be okay. We'll do them with you laying down. I'm laying there talking to this girl, this nurse, as she's stabbing me, trying to be polite, trying to be nice. I don't get freaked out with needles, but I don't enjoy getting them. I don't know who does. She's like, all right, so I have about 2 more. Do you want me to put them on the other arm or do you want to just put it all on the same arm? And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just put it all on the same arm. So I have 8 holes on my arm. And then she's like, okay, I'm going to leave you here for a little bit. You're going to recuperate. You're going to get yourself together. And then I'll come back in and then we can sit up and we can see how we're doing. She comes back in and I was laying there and I felt completely fine. I was like, why the fuck am I laying here? She's like, how you feeling? And I was like, I'm fine. She doesn't sound like that. I was like, I'm fine. And then she was like, okay, do you want to try and sit up? So I tried to sit up and she was like, are you okay? And I was like, no. And then she was like, what? And I was like, what? And then I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't see anything. And then I just fell over. And then she caught me, I think, because I didn't smack my head on the floor. I came to and I was like, wow, sorry about that. She was like, no, it's okay. And then I laid there for a really long time, like 45 minutes. I sat up by myself. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. If I pass out again, I'll just hit the ground. I sat up and I was like, oh, okay. And then I'm just sitting there on my phone, and then the real doctor comes in, and then she like takes a cotton ball full of rubbing alcohol, which I'm allergic to, by the way, and she rubs my arm so hard. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, this hurts. So she was like, yes, all of these ones that I was concerned about have reacted. And I was like, well, that's good. And then she was like, yeah, so you could just sign the form so that way you can get your new immunotherapy. So we're fine. We're good. We're living. At least we won't combust when we walk outside. Thank you guys for watching my allergy testing vlog. I hope you enjoyed my complete misery. Well, I'll catch you in the allergy testing vlog next year with hopefully more fun stories. In an ideal world, it would be more boring because I'd be like, got my allergy testing done, and then it would be fine because nothing bad would happen to me. But it's me, so bad things are gonna happen, you know? Like this video if you feel bad for me, or dislike this video if you think I deserve it. That was my hip. Okay, bye!